Right at the top of the hour. Thank you so much once again for joining us at News Tonight at 10. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. And before we step into the bulletin, let's have those top stories. In our headlines tonight, First Lady Janet Museveni meets and holds discussions with a delegation from German Saxony State. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba disbands all MK units. Japanese government donates 25 Type B ambulances to Uganda. And lastly, cricket cranes bow out of the Castlelight Series 2023. Thank you so much for choosing us now into the bulletin following the tragic loss of the 44 lives during the attack on Pondwe Secondary School by suspected ADF remnants. The president has identified significant security lapses. He emphasizes the need for standby units, improved intelligence and strengthening of the cooperation with the neighboring countries to effectively counter terrorism. Our security journalist Ivan Kahler provides an insightful report on the president's crucial strategic areas to enhance citizen protection amidst the recent isolated terror attacks.
On June 16, 2023, a regrettable incident occurred in Nyabugando, Kasese district, where an ADF attack led to the death of 44 people and several others injured. The president of Uganda terms this as a weak ideology, since they were unable to target well-established armed units.
If you can only attack unarmed people, then you cannot say that you are strong.
There are reports of laxity in security during the attack on Mpondwe Lubiriha Secondary School, and the president has demanded a report within 3 weeks regarding the incident.
So I want to check what this Kabugo lady was talking about in the case of Mpondwe, because she said that one of the children walked to the police station, then they didn't respond. Yes, they may not respond because they are not ready. If you come, then I started dressing up. Tying shoes around takes time.
He has directed the deployment of 18 police officers per sub-county and emphasized the effectiveness of standby units.
Even in peacetime, there will be a group ready to move to answer a call of distress. If there is a terrorist threat in the area, we upgrade the situation by recruiting LDUs per parish.
In a mounted operation commanded by Major General Dick Olum, the commander of Operation Shuja, at least 12 ADF remnants, including the notorious commander Lubanga Ken, were killed and guns recovered.
ADF is no longer and can no longer be a military problem as long as the diplomatic problem of the Congo government allowing us to help them is maintained. We can also follow them beyond the present line of limit of exploitation when the government of Congo allows us.
It should be noted that in 1996, about 1,200 ADF members attempted to capture Mpondwe and Kasese airstrip to land weapons and then proceed to Kampala to overthrow the NRM government.
Fully supported and armed with guns by Mobutu and Bashir of Sudan.
However, they were blocked and contained in Mpondwe, where 40 members were neutralized.
We are to therefore build the anti-terrorism capacity of the country.
In 2007, 87 out of 100 ADF members who entered Uganda from Congo were killed by commandos as they planned to disrupt the Commonwealth Heads of State meeting. This event marked the point where the ADF could no longer send groups into Uganda.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni assures the country that the ADF can no longer carry out attacks in Uganda using bombs due to enhanced intelligence. Although he acknowledges the fact that political division acts as an impediment for Africa to fight terror threats, he believes that a stronger military force can help counter any planned invasion from the enemy.
So, military intelligence just to locate but also diplomatic. Because these people are not where we have got authority. They are in somebody else's area of control.
The president emphasizes that Uganda does not intend to seal off its borders with Congo due to the economic benefits, with exports to Congo earning at least 2.2 trillion Uganda shillings per year.
All this would be lost. Besides, we would harm and annoy our people and the Congolese people that live on the borders.
Maintaining peace and ensuring safety remains core objective. Uganda is known for accommodating refugees from around the world. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba disbanded all MK movement units and directed that effective from Monday 10th July 2023, all jointly operating units under one umbrella of the MK movement will be the one in charge of the daily operations.
For close to 1 year and a half, ever since the resurface of the senior presidential advice on special operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, onto the political landscape of Uganda, his supporters have been widely mobilizing and publicizing him through different units. However, at some points there have been reports of clashes among units as many fought for supremacy. Now General Muhoozi Kainerugaba has with immediate effect disbanded all those units.
We all agreed through his guidance that time has come that all units should merge and we do a joint mobilization for MK movement, which we all agreed to.
Muhoozi has also set up a disciplinary committee to tame errant supporters.
We have the masses who are supporting us, and in such a kind of environment you always get complaints and indiscipline cases. Through his guidance, again, he suggested that a disciplinary committee be set up to be able to attend to complaints.
Honorable Mike Mwanda is a Central Disciplinary Committee chairperson.
We are now tirelessly working, putting all things together so that we can commence work very soon, because our chairman immediately requested us that work should start immediately. Not, of course, looking at the wrong things that are being done by our people, but see how we can give guidance and also sensitizing our people about the code of conduct of MK movement.
Other directives by the Forsters General includes the following.
It was agreed, still under his guidance as our chairman, that in any official activity or program that will be carried out with effect from Monday, at any one time, 2 members of the Central Committee should be in attendance to guide and energize whatever activity is taking place.
Mwanda says this is the better way to go.
We will not be launching structures because we all now belong to the MK movement. And secondly, we are preparing ourselves for elections. All these positions we are holding are tentative, are interim. We would like to get the mandate from the people.
The MK movement team has, however, hit back at the leader of opposition in Parliament, Matthias Mpuga, who has castigated the NUP members for paying allegiance to the general.
We are not a political party that one has crossed. I don't think there is nothing wrong of saying that you will associate with somebody. They have not crossed because we are not a political party. But if somebody sees something good, I think it will really be better or good for somebody that let me associate myself with that thing that is good. So instead, he should ask himself, why are people associating themselves with MK, not remaining entirely in his organization?
As Muhoozi moves in to clean and streamline his house, on the other hand, the party members are saying he is laying a political foundation. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The government of Japan has donated 25 Type B ambulances to Uganda to support emergency medical services. Minister for Health Dr. Jane Ruth Cheng received the ambulances from the Japanese ambassador to Uganda, Fukuzawa Hidemoto, at the ministry headquarters in Kampala.
In 2021, the National Emergency Medical Services Policy was approved with the aim to improve response to emergencies. The Ministry of Health is implementing this policy by, among other things, acquiring and improving the functionality of the ambulance system. The government of Japan has joined the list of development partners supporting Uganda to strengthen her emergency medical services by donating 25 Type B ambulances. There are two types of ambulances, B and C. Type B is equipped for transportation, basic treatment and monitoring of patients, while Type C is the most advanced.
The Type C ambulances include the mobile intensive care units, specialized neonatal ambulances, and specialized negative pressure ambulances for highly infectious diseases like Ebola. As you are aware, we are very prone to outbreaks. So we need these ambulances with negative pressure so that the emergency medical teams, including the drivers, are protected.
The Japanese ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Fukuzawa Hidemoto, handed over the ambulances to the Minister for Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Cheng, at the Ministry of Health headquarters in Kampala. He appealed to the Ministry of Health to ensure that the ambulances are well maintained in order to achieve value for money.
I would like to say that this money is not from me, not from the embassy. It's from the taxpayer of Japan. And if we see that the maintenance are well done, there'll be more projects.
Minister for Health Dr. Jane Ruth Cheng commended the government of Japan for supporting Uganda's health sector.
Is improving intra-facility and inter-facility transfer of patients. That is the referral system that has to be coordinated. We have patients that are transferred from one regional hospital to Mulago and from the PNFPs to Mulago or any other hospital with specialty. So the ambulances do this.
She, however, welcomed other development partners to come on board because there is still a gap for 325 ambulances. These ambulances will be given to 25 constituencies, with each serving a population of 100,000 people as stipulated in the National Medical Services Policy. Adiana Kote, UBC.
Persistent insecurity and lack of facilitation for data collectors is said to be the causing of delays in disbursement of the parish development model in Karamoja sub-region.
In the 2021-22 financial year, each district was allocated shillings 4.1 billion through their different savings and credit cooperative organizations. However, in Nakapiripirit district, about 211 million was returned to the treasury after the district failed to utilize it. Currently, out of the 51.3 billion allocated to Karamoja sub-region for parish development model, only 56 million shillings has been disbursed to beneficiaries in the districts of Moroto, Napak, Nabilatuk, and Nakapiripirit. According to the Karamoja sub-region PDM regional coordinator Michael Ayepa, the funds have been left idle in bank accounts because people are not embracing the initiative. He attributes this to the delayed decision-making and planning of the proper disbursement of funds by local leaders due to fear of being arrested in case of mismanagement.
Because they would mistake somebody to be the one collecting data for who has the gun and who does not have the gun. I think that was not the intention. So people, our parish chiefs, fear going to the field. Of course, another problem was the long process of preparing their households. It is not easy to prepare this household. These people have struggled and they have prepared their households, and it has taken their time. The ICT challenges.
Nabilatuk district, the disbursement of PDM funds to 24 parish circles has been launched. The first disbursement took place in Loreng Duat sub-county, where at least 27 beneficiaries received 23.1 million shillings, with each parish given 107 million shillings.
Don't get excited today and you start dancing and you become a good Samaritan. You are the one sponsoring the entire parish. That money, you are going to return the money. You are going to pay back that money. You are borrowing that money for business. Huh? You are the business.
The State Minister for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Esther Anyakun, says there is need to consider alternative enterprises than farming, whose seasons are dynamic. She urged them to explore cereal banking as a temporary solution as they wait for the next rainy season. PDM data collectors told the minister that insecurity and lack of facilitation are the major causes for delayed disbursement of funds under the parish development model in the Karamoja sub-region. Minister Anyakun emphasized the importance of community awareness to prevent mismanagement of funds.
The government should be able to support, give a support system to the people from the villages to maximize this money.
The LC5 chairperson of Nabilatuk district, Paul Lokol, pledged to ensure timely disbursement of PDM funds.
I have to give out the other monies as well. But I still, much as I have hope that this money will be given out in the shortest time possible, I still do not have confidence in the systems that have been created. And so I want to call on the National Secretariat to speed up, because
the resident district commissioner of Nabilatuk, Senyonjo Cheyune, criticized sections of local leaders for sabotaging government programs meant to uplift communities from poverty.
You killed this program. The politicians killed this program by claiming that this was a thank you from His Excellency the President.
Emmanuel Olaboro Ejuku is the chief administrative officer of Nabilatuk district.
The parish chiefs need to have the equipment all the time. Computers and even smartphones. We do not have this. And this has made the program quite slow. We request the Secretariat through you, the guest of honor.
Relatedly, Ejuku pledged to closely monitor the beneficiaries to ensure that the funds are put to their intended use. Marion Awori and Maureen Iga for UBC.
The Parliamentary Committee on National Economy conducted an appraisal visit of the works on the Kampala-Mukono railway line in places like Kawolo concrete sleeper factory, work site at Namamve, and line removal site in Kireka. A team of members of Parliament led by Bukedea County MP John Bosco Ikojo visited these places to assess the need for approval of loans and grants from Africa Development Bank and Imathia, a Spanish company.
The Parliamentary Committee on National Economy visited Kawolo Concrete Sleeper Factory and went through the whole process of how the factory conducts its business.
The following day, we transfer the strength from the bar to the sleeper, and the sleeper get all the technical properties.
From Kawolo, the team continued to a site at Namamve, where a Spanish company, Imathia, is finalizing with the meter gauge railway line with the concrete sleepers. They witnessed the removal of the old railway line at Chireka. Honorable Byamukama Fred, State Minister for Transport, gave an insight into the loans and grants.
African Development Bank is going to help us rehabilitate. This is complete rehabilitation of the Mukono-Malaba railway line. This is meter gauge. That's the African Development Bank alone. Then the Spanish loan, which has a grant, is to do complete rehabilitation of Mukono-Kampala. Majorly Mukono-Kampala, it is well known for passengers. We have been having passengers there, like 2,000 passengers a day who are coming from Kampala, going back to their places of Namamve, Mukono, Boyogerere, but now we want to rehabilitate it.
Member of Parliament for Bukedea County, Bukedea District, Honorable John Bosco Ikojo, addressed the media and shed more light on the importance of the visit.
Funders reconsidered to change the terms of the loan, and they accepted, one, to reduce on the amount of the loan, and then also give us a grant for us to do the refurbishment of our meter gauge railway from Malaba up to Kampala. Now today as a committee, we felt it that since this loan is coming from 3 donors, one is African Development Fund, then African Development Bank, and then the Spanish Corporation, we felt that it would be good for us to see the component of the loan that has been implemented.
Busia District Legislator Alana Tugonza told reporters why it's important to have the meter gauge railway first than the standard gauge railway.
We had already injected in money, $50 million, to improve on the line from Mukono to Malaba. So we're like, since we are going to have the standard gauge railway, why don't we now use this chance to invest this money, more money that the Uganda Railway is seeking, to improve the network to a standard gauge railway. So the technical team explained it well to us. That
meter gauge railway complements standard gauge railway. Number one, construction of standard gauge railway is very expensive. To construct standard gauge railway, we know it is fast, yes, it carries out of cargo, but it is very expensive.
Uganda Railways Corporation Managing Director David Bulega Musoke urges all these with property on the URC land to remove it.
Our concern is on the safety of our pupils or children. As you see here, the children of Jamia Islamic Nursery and Primary School at Chideka, they are really in the working area. Encouraging the school to remove these swings. The fence is going to be removed by URC because it is in the railway corridor.
The Minister of State for Transport, Byamuka Mafred, is of the view that some of the people on URC land should get something small in monetary terms, but not an all-out compensation.
Looking for 144 billions. We call it kusumbusha. Ex-gratia compensation for some people who had encroached on railway land. We give them something small to kusumbu so they can put the same business somewhere else.
Mario Nawori and Jamil Sekaja for UBC.
Now, the National Agriculture Research Organization, NARO, has authorized the release of the new grain and root crop varieties to the communities. The new varieties are confirmed to be safe for both human consumption and commercial production.
It is inside this conference hall at National Agricultural Research Laboratories in Kawanda that crop researchers have converged to endorse the newly developed crop varieties. They include both grain and root crop varieties from various agricultural research institutes in the country. The new potato variety is one of them.
We realize that sweet potato is consumed a lot here as a table stock, that is for food, and also lately sweet potato has become a very important processing commodity.
Both maize and potatoes will be high yielding for farmers.
And they're also very good for processing into value-added products like sweet potato puree, sweet potato bread, and confectionery products.
It has been released under the names of narrow maize 63 Vita, meaning that it is high in vitamin A.
But there is more on maize. The fight against the striga is one concern that farmers will not lament about anymore.
This one, under severe striga infestation, you can get up to 3.5 tons per hectare, which is a significant, which should be a significant improvement in maize grain yield in the striga areas.
It takes between 6 to 10 years to develop a new crop variety. Dr. Tony Obua is a researcher at the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. at Makerere University.
Usually for maize, it takes between about 8 to 10 years to develop a good superior variety, because at the end you want to develop a variety that suits the taste and preference of farmers, and that really takes a longer time for farmers to keep growing and benefit from.
The new breeds were conducted in partnership with Uganda Seed Trade Association and Naseko Seeds. Both agree that the new varieties are timely.
We are always longing for new technologies to address the challenges of farmers, because as a private player, when I have a solution to a farmer's problem, to me I think it is a plus for me to move.
So for farmers that want to quickly release their field for the next production in the long cycle, in the second season you should plant DT Max.
How far these new varieties will go in addressing farmers' challenges as envisioned, time will tell. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira Sentamu, has taken charge in the dispute between Kigezi Artisanal Miners Association and Kamuntu Investment Uganda Limited. This follows the heightened tension and threats of havoc between the two disputed mining groups after Kamuntu Investment Uganda Limited acquired the license to transport and export raw iron ore minerals.
There has been a growing dispute between Kigezi Artisanal Miners Association and Kamuntu Investment Uganda Limited over mining operations in Kigezi sub-region. The row was caused after Kamuntu Investment Uganda Limited acquired the license to transport and export raw iron ore minerals. Kamuntu Investment Uganda Limited, owned by Moses Kamuntu, the Rwanda County Member of Parliament, has been involved in transportation of substantial quantities of iron ore across Uganda and Kenya. It was awarded an exploration license in 2015, replacing the Alam Group of companies, which now operates Steel Rolling Mills Limited, an iron ore smelting factory in Jinja. This caused conflict in December 2021 as the miners accused Kamuntu's company of grossly failing to remunerate them for their labor since 2018.
We could mine, give him material after he bring money. Then after some time, he started just, you give him material, up to like 40 million, he don't give anything.
Tension also increased when miners blocked the company from extracting and transporting iron ore from the mining center situated in Weza Karukara Ward, Hamura Town Council.
Now the moment these people are disagreeing, when they are not working together, certainly we cannot develop in this area.
Kigezi Region Minerals Inspector Robert Mufuta says their efforts to find a solution failed when Kamuntu's company opted to pursue legal action against some of the miners.
It is said it does not belong to them, to him, and they have never sold it to him. He will have to prove that he really bought it and it belongs to him.
The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabirwa, together with State Minister for Minerals, Peter Lokeris, and State Minister for Trade, David Bahati, the Parliamentary Committee on Energy, all made a visit to establish the cause of the issue. A pivotal meeting was held at the site where miners, district leaders, and Kamuntu were involved. The artisanal miners accused the Kamuntu Investment Uganda Limited of holding payments and encroaching on their rightful deposits. Moses Kamuntu dismissed accusations leveled against his company.
Issue of land. I own 200 acres of land in the Moko mine. I don't own the license and I've never complained. Have I ever complained?
Minister Nankabirwa assured the miners that they will be helped to acquire their own license and promised that the Attorney General's office will make a follow-up on the miners' payments.
Okwengeginga ne koligi waffe Honorable Kamuntu tulabe ekinaaba kisoboka bw'obanga okakasiza ddala nga waliwo obukakafu nti ssente tebaazikuwa.
Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Science, Technology and Innovations has recommended the government efforts and funding to tertiary institutions and universities. This, they say, has enabled students to explore their skills in science and technology.
Members of Parliament of the Science, Technology and Innovation Committee have continued tour of Western Uganda government education entities, with the latest stop at Mbara University of Science and Technology.
One of the impressions we have got here in Mbara University of Science and Technology, and particularly in this Center for Technological Research, first of all, the level of expertise from the people who are here, the staff who are here. Number two, the enthusiasm that people here, they are running like to, is unlike many other public universities. The speed, the interest, the details in terms of understanding what they are doing here. We went to some of the what they call the store where they are storing the innovation, hundreds of innovations.
The University Vice Chancellor, Professor Celestine Obua, thanked government for the support and raised areas that need urgent attention.
The buildings in which the Faculty of Medicine started are now aged, they are crumbling, and they pose challenges. One, the space is not enough, this which has lecture halls, offices, and so on, including laboratories. We had estimated something like between 30 to 40 billion.
Karenga Health Center, for one of the biggest health facilities in Karenga district, is currently experiencing challenges of limited staffing, space and power outages. The district has only one ambulance which serves all the health outreaches and referrals to Kabong or Kitgum hospitals.
Karenga district has 1 health center 4, 3 health center 3s and 4 health center 2s. 3 administrative units have no health center at all, and patients have to walk for over 10 kilometers to seek health services. Karenga Health Center 4 serves a population of about 70,000 people. The health center receives an overwhelming number of patients, which exposes them to reinfections.
Very small. We do not even have space where we can have other departments like you separate dental or eye care clinic. Everything is almost done in the same place. Our patients tend to overcrowd, and that promotes easy spread of infections. If, for instance, a patient comes to OPD, has TB, any
that we've been lacking a hospital. For example, we need a district hospital where we can provide comprehensive services. You realize the nearest referral hospital here is Kitugum Hospital or Kabong Hospital, and they are far away given to our bad road network.
Amidst the overwhelming number of patients, the facility has 1 ambulance. It is understaffed, has shortage of key medicines, and also experiences consistent power outages.
If you are on duty, you have to attend to all those matters. But of course, now the challenge will be that if it happens that maybe you are alone on duty, you have to cover maternity and then also do antenatal care. So that means that the number of clients you are going to see in a day will be more than this.
To community outreaches, home visiting, and most of our health workers have been attacked on the way, and this has demoralized the work of our health workers. And for example, this month we are trying to see how we can arrange particularly things to do with patients who come needing blood, maybe due to gunshots, maybe breeding mothers, and we've been having a challenge of accessing blood very quickly because our nearest blood bank, we have Guru and the Moroto, and these are we from Karenga. For example, from Karenga to Guru, it is approximately 235 kilometers, and Karenga to Moroto is 255 kilometers. So you can see the distance is really long, given to our bad roads, and it is on this note that if you could get a blood bank nearer, we could save more lives. Madam Iga, you know...
According to Dr. Nicholas Banya, the in charge of Karenga Health Center 4, the facility's infrastructure is also dilapidated, hence a risk to patients.
Blood will enter down deep inside these cracks, and so it becomes difficult for you to clean them. Yes. So that blood which has entered there, difficult to clean, promotes growth of those germs that cause infection again to this man, and yet it's supposed to be sterile.
Amon Bahati is the Karenga District Health Officer.
5 health centers which are in the district this financial year can be upgraded to health center 3s. So in that upgrade we are hoping good quality services, because when the facility is upgraded there is also increase in the number of staffs, and we hope service delivery in the district will improve. So far so good. This financial year we plan to recruit 5 medical officers and anesthetic officers, and among other critical staffs. So when these officers come on board, we hope that service delivery in the district will really improve.
Patients in Karenga district receive referrals to Kitgum and Kabong hospitals, or Moroto and Gulu regional referral hospitals for further management, which are also over 200 kilometers away.
Still in the health sector, a health insurance scheme that will cater for hospital bills and funeral expenses for the less privileged has been launched in Uganda. The Let's Go Insure innovation, unveiled by Let's Shigo Uganda and Torako Insurance in Kololo, Kampala, is a mitigation factor to address financial shocks caused by illness.
Let's Shigo Uganda has partnered with Torako Insurance to mitigate health-related financial risks through providing affordable health insurance services to the less privileged rural and urban communities. Let's Shigo Chief Executive Officer Giles Germany Aijukwe says the gesture is part of the microfinance strategic pillars of empowering the underbanked, derive financial inclusion and safeguard families against unforeseen medical-related expenses.
That value of 30,000 to 50,000, Leseho, working with Torako, has been able to convert that into a cover for 12 months for a customer who has borrowed from Leseho. And in the next day or in the next 1 week, he or she is unable to repay because they have fallen sick. We are able to pay 2 million up for their hospital cover, and should the unfortunate bit happen, we'll still pay some money to the family to ensure that this person has a decent burial.
Officiating at the launch of the Let's Shigo Insure service at Let's Shigo Head Office Kampala, senior managers at Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority and Insurance Regulatory Authority described the innovation as a landmark in bridging gaps in both sectors.
Let's say you have taken the crown where a borrower will fall sick and they will not worry, they will not be harassed, they will not be called to pay. However, they will be given time to recover from their illness to meet their loan obligation.
Let's Go Uganda and Torako are making commendable efforts to ensure essential social protection and extend health benefits to the underserved and the informal economy.
The General Manager, Torako Insurance Brokers Limited, Hamza Mutebi, says the proprietary technology will deliver funeral benefits as financial relief to the insured family in easing the burden of funeral expenses during difficult times.
The way we like to look at hospital cash is an income replacement tool. What that means is that during the tenure when you have that loan with Letseho, should you fall sick, Torako will pay you some money, up to 1 million shillings.
Currently, 1% of Ugandans are covered by formal mainstream insurance plans, with many remaining unreached by insurance services, and are incredibly vulnerable to financial shocks caused by illnesses, accidents, and health.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Road traffic crashes is one of the leading causes of death among young people aged 5 and 29 years. In 2022, Uganda registered 21,473 crashes, out of which 4,534 people died and 15,227 seriously injured. 22 people die every 100 crashes, and on average, we lose 12 people daily. Legacy Road Safety Initiative, in partnership with KCCA, Ministry of Works and Transport, Ministry of Health, Uganda Police Force, Red Cross, Rosaku, Boda Boda Industry Uganda, have organized the second Road Safety Marathon for the crash victims to help create awareness, build cohesion among stakeholders, train first responders at black spots, and support a health facility. The marathon will take place on the 23rd of July 2023, starting at 7 a.m. from Nakasero Primary School grounds. Book your kits at 25,000 from Legacy Road Safety Initiative offices located at Old Kampala Chicken House, 2nd floor, room 18, or 8th Street, Safeway, Rightway offices, Total Energies, Ovino Mall, Boda Boda Industry Uganda, or visit www.lrs-initiative.org to register. Call 0752 605 479 or 0776 598 817 or 0414 698 675. Proudly powered by Daxi Driving School and Wava Water. Run to save a limb.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Uganda's oil and gas projects are providing opportunities for international certification and employment in various disciplines. 12,000 Ugandans have received global oil industry training and international certification in welding, heavy goods vehicle driving, and scaffolding, among others. 6 public and private institutions have received international accreditation and certification from industry bodies such as City and Guilds, ECITB, OPITO, AWS, and NEBOSH. 250 government officers from various ministries and agencies have trained in oil and gas-related disciplines such as petroleum engineering, geosciences, law, and economics. 71,300 Ugandans are currently employed in the sector. The National Oil and Gas Talent Register provides visibility to Ugandans with skills and competencies for possible employment in the oil and gas sector. Registration is free. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Juko. Yo. What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson chairperson and your parish chief, and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Uganda ne Uganda waraji batusako man manchi kona tena tekobo seko season yakuna savu July kuma mal papa's hall usasule kwa MTN mobile money usasule gumu chitundu MTN usasule nega komitano iga stemu kagatano stamu enda munana hasha kwa MTN ofune tiketi yokati wabula kumulyango usasule mitwale ebiri yepe mitwale 5 ate meza ya milioni 2 munana July kodi ni hotel mkono mwenda July Nikan Resort Elweza 15 July France Africa Jinja Abiri July Maria Flema Saka Abiri Mwenda July Afro Club Eka Sangati Ate yo noku yingi na mutualo Wafujini Dwamo Sente Talent Africa Victoria University Suzu Property Consultants Pepsi Max Uganda Waraji Ne
MTN.
Welcome to the Business Desk. Quickly into business, experts and policymakers from Uganda gathered today at the 3rd High-Level African Conference on Debt and Development in Kampala that aimed to shed light on effective strategies for borrowing and highlighting the importance of prudent financial decisions.
Indeed, this conference comes at a timely time as the continent has been served with a cocktail of calamities, including a looming debt crisis.
During the conference, Augustus Nwagaba, a principal economist, emphasized the need for critical thinking when it comes to borrowing. He emphasized that it is essential to carefully consider the sources of borrowed funds, particularly avoiding short-term borrowing for long-term investments.
Because we have got a number of models which have been tested, and it is important that we look at what other countries have done. Countries have put in place frameworks that are regulatory and very, very strong to ensure that such opportunities are not wasted and you make it very, very expensive.
Additionally, the conference explored the impact of domestic borrowing on private sector financing. It was observed that relying heavily on domestic borrowing can discourage private sector participation, as commercial banks often allocate significant funds to government.
ESCOM and Umeme, I am comfortable because whereas it came as Umeme was foreign, Umeme has increasingly become Ugandan by our listing of our Ugandan taking interest.
One of the notable examples cited at the conference was South Korea, which boasts the most efficient planning authority in the world. The South Korean model demonstrates the significance of only taking on viable projects, ensuring their success and long-term benefits.
One also bailout option we wish to trigger that we have that not been discussing at length is the question of special drawing rights, which sometimes people call SDRs.
The recoverable cost, if we don't take much care there, the maximum we can get annually on oil revenue is $2 billion.
To address these challenges and foster smart borrowing, the conference proposed several solutions. Firstly, developing partnerships emerged as a key strategy to leverage resources and expertise. Promotion of local content through the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda initiative, along with deliberate technological transfer and training programs by promoting knowledge exchange and providing training opportunities. Wadulo Mark Arnold, UBC News in Kampala.
Thank you very much there, Wadulo. Now, in partnership with Wakiso District Local Government, Uganda Development Bank, UDB, held a conference aimed at unlocking investment potential in the region. The one-day conference held under the theme Harnessing Investment Opportunities in Wakiso focused on identifying sustainable projects and solutions for Wakiso District.
Uganda Development Bank, along with other partners, is aiming to create meaningful connections and exchange knowledge on the investment climate. The Managing Director, Uganda Development Bank, Patricia Ojagole, is impressed with the conference's alignment with their vision of driving socio-economic growth. Key priority sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, health, education, tourism and infrastructure were emphasized.
We should be on one table, in one institution, to ensure that we plan for this country. We saw Mr. Angabirano is putting up a mega factory, but where is he putting it? In the swamp. Because he's complaining there is no industrial park in Wakiso. Isn't that a planning failure? Don't you see that the whole of Wakiso has become a housing estate? We have not thought as the leaders in Wakiso to provide an area for. That's why I'm saying when these other agencies come together, I am also learning today that every city should have, like any city, should have areas where people put industry, areas where people put their houses, areas where people do agriculture.
We have had requests for the building of bridges. We have had requests for investment in islands. We have had requests for investment in water transportation. For us, this has been a big success because we have listened to real investors. Many people think to be an investor, you must be from Europe or America, or you must be Chinese or an Indian. We have to be confident that investors can also be Ugandans with black skin. And all those who are investors are entitled to all the benefits that are in the investment laws of Uganda.
The conference aimed to identify impactful investment opportunities, address challenges faced by the private sector, and identify bankable businesses. Financial constraints and the need for business advisory services were identified as areas requiring attention.
Limits in special programs start from about 50 million shillings all the way to up to 500 million. Now, all it really takes is for you to be Ugandan citizen with a registered entity. The first step is in the registration. You have to formalize your entity because UDB does not lend to individuals. We lend to projects and start with even a single member entity. Approach the bank with your idea. We will take you through a process of file building to help you meet the criteria.
Now my biggest appeal is the monster for compensation. We don't have money because we can't borrow money to come and compensate you. Because the donors are saying these are your own things. We are not interested in land. We are constructing a road for you. So how dare you ask us to compensate you for, again, a facility, a utility, a social service we brought into at your doorstep? Now we are saying we shall delay these programs and these projects if we go into the whatevers of compensation, the confusion of compensation. So our appeal is simple. We want just 1.5 meters of your land, which is next to the road.
Uganda Development Bank remains dedicated to fostering sustainable socio-economic growth and complementing government efforts. The conference served as a platform to unlock opportunities, create jobs and uplift communities. Sandra Kahunde, Kenneth Tanaba, UBC News Tonight.
Market vendors in Masaka are eagerly anticipating their relocation to a brand new state-of-the-art market. Constructed under the Markets and Agriculture Trade Improvement Program, the 800-stall market is set to provide a fresh start for vendors and boost economic activity in the area.
Located along Edward Avenue, the new market offers a spacious and modern setting, creating an inviting ambience for both vendors and customers. As preparations for the official launch progresses, the Ministry of Local Government is actively engaging with market leaders to ensure the smooth day-to-day operations of the market.
Seeing the modern market coming up, we hope that even more revenue is going to come. We are going to see people, the revenue collectors, collecting revenue, and indeed right now we have a system, the IRA system. It's no longer the way it used to be. Things have improved and we hope for the better.
Huru saying the area RCC represented local government minister Raphael Magezi during a meeting with the market vendors' leadership. He commended the government's commitment to the project, emphasizing its potential to improve the lives of Masaka residents.
As we are all aware, this is a new market, and the vendors are operating from elsewhere. This is a great achievement to this government and to the people of Masaka City. A market is a place that enables people who are starting entrepreneurship, people who are joining the business industry, to stabilize and move from one stage to the other.
During the meeting, Eteduk Geoffrey, the national coordinator, Markets and Agricultural Trade Improvement Program, addressed the recently passed New Market Act of 2023, acknowledging its significance in shaping the future of market operations in the city.
The purpose of the redevelopment is really to improve on the quality of the services in the market, in terms of space, in terms of ambience, in terms of the kind of area where the vendors sell, and also encouraging and giving the customers, people who come and buy from the market, that good exposure, so that whatever is being sold is found to be of good quality and is attractive to the vendors.
In anticipation of the market's opening, vendors expressed their desire for market levies that accurately reflect the nature of their businesses.
Like what we've been requesting, like hope we are going to the other new market, we've been requesting the tax or the rent that we've been giving, it may reduce because it has been high.
Dennis Igoa and Juman Samba for UBC News.
Now, the operation of a 15 billion agro-processing facility that had been abandoned for years in Busia municipality has this Friday afternoon been handed over to Urwahi Investment, a private company, for functionality.
In Solo, a sale, Busia municipality that cost government over 15 billion shillings is purposely aimed at adding value to cereal crops such as maize, millet for better marketing. But despite its completion in 2020, the agro-processing plant had not started operation until this afternoon when a team from Ministry of Local Government, headed by its permanent secretary Ben Kumumanya, handed it over to Urwahi Investments Limited for functionality.
This thing is going to support PDM, because PDM talks of production, processing and marketing, as one said. But now Busia, there is the soil, there are producers, there is PDM money, but also there is a facility which is going to process the grain, pack it, and then market it.
With its production capacity of over 50 tons of maize flour and over 36 tons of animal feeds daily, the facility is expected to give the border districts of Busia and Tororo a turnaround.
It's going to make cereal business boom on the border. This is going to promote cross-border business and also solve the problem of food security on the border. My prayer is one that, according to what I see, the demand is going to be very big. This facility needs storage, which I call upon the Ministry of Trade to help us so that in this financial year, warehouse is put as among priorities for this.
When you have fish pellets from here, you make millions, in fact up to even 800 million. So we're expecting that to happen. Then we have been telling people to rear poultry, these birds, and the problem has been reliable supplies of feeds. Sometimes they bring us feeds which are contaminated. You feed the birds and they don't grow at the rate they are supposed to grow. And now we have a reliable source of poultry feeds.
Besides adding value to cereals, the multi-billion facility is equally to employ a sizable number of people.
We are going to do production of about 30,000 metric tons annually. When you do 30,000 metric tons annually, it means you are able to generate revenue for the country of about $3.7 million US. So this is a very right investment for the government.
But much as the facility is expected to transform the areas, Busia produce dealers are concerned on private-public partnership between traders and the facility operators. In a single day, trucks loaded with unprocessed cereal produce crosses via Busia border to Kenya for sale. But with the agro processing facility now in place, the population are called to adopt on processing their maize before selling it out for transformation of the areas.
It's time for us to look at the financial market. In our financial markets this week, let us start off with the forex market, where the shilling remains flat with no major fluctuations on the opening and closing price to end the week with a fair 3,664.67 buying and 3,674.67 selling against the dollar. The South African rand traded at 204.11 buying and 206.66 selling, respectively. Let's preview the entire performance on the forex market. At close of this week today, the Uganda Securities Exchange recorded a total of 120,000 shares exchanging hands with a total turnover of 20.4 million shillings. The all-share index stands at 1,038.53 and the local share index stands at 269.96. Activity on the counter was minimal, recording only 21 deals on the counter. MTN took the lead to record a turnover of 20.4 million shillings, trading only 120,000 shares at 170 shillings per share. Umeme traded the least with a total of 22,990 shillings turnover and 53 shares exchanging hands. Other counters remained flat with no activity on the bows. More activity is likely to happen on MTN Uganda due to the demand on this counter, plus the outstanding bids and offers on MTN. Total capitalization stands at 18 billion shillings, a figure that defines the USE. For UBC News, I'm Patricia Lukoma Patricia.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Welcome to the world of sports as we start off with the cricket. Cricket Cranes completed their 6 test matches against Namibian Eagles in the T20 Castlelite series, losing all the games that included the 9-wicket loss in their final match on Thursday. Let's hear more in this report.
Uganda's Cricket Cranes walked away empty-handed from the tour that featured 4 T20I and 2 ODI matches. Namibia, who have a high world ranking, proved too strong for Uganda, who were bounded out for 108 in 36.5 overs after a 40-wicket run. The final test match saw runs that were not coming in fluidly from the Cricket Cranes due to the very cold conditions on the day. The hosts were never troubled as they were propelled by a 9-wicket win.
Scoreline could have been very different, but again, we didn't seize our moments, and that was the most disappointing part for me. But some encouragement to take from the tour. A couple of young guys coming through, getting some exposure, getting some games against some high-level competition.
Despite missing players to personal and logistical issues, there was optimism for upcoming youngsters, including Pius Oloka, who put in some good yards with the ball from his 6 overs.
I think one of the biggest positives for me was the experience. I think you learn more from defeats than you do sometimes from victories. For me, the tour results on the board, not great. T20, I think we're very competitive in 3 of the 4. One-day stuff, we just didn't pitch. And I think the players are hurting. We're all hurting. And I'm sure that the results that will come after this will show that there have been a lot of lessons learned. Credit also needs to go to Namibia, put out a very strong side, and they showed why they're an ODI side and why they've been to 2 World Cups. And if you want to go there, we need to become more consistent and we'll be more competitive.
The cricket cranes who won the inaugural T20 in Nairobi will be back in Namibia for business in November as they fight for the World Cup spot at the T20 World Cup qualifiers. Marsha Miro, UBC News.
Once again, thank you so much for choosing us. But before we sign out, let's have the trick up on our headlines. And in our top stories, First Lady Janet Museveni holds and discusses with a delegation from the German Saxony state. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba disbands all MK units. Japanese government donates 25 Type B ambulances to Uganda. And cricket cranes bow out of the Castlelight Series 2023. That's it from us. Thank you so much for being a part of us. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Good night, but UBC TV programming continues.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.